Vivek Ramaswamy probably wasn't a name you had heard 5 years ago. Recently, he's become a political superstar. Today, let's look at his top 5 moments from his 2024 campaign. Let's start at the bottom. In Iowa, all of the Republican candidates gathered to court local voters at the state fair. It's a GOP tradition. One of Vivek's best clips was him rapping to Eminem's hit song, Lose Yourself. Eminem, who hates MAGA conservatives, wasn't really happy about that and threatened legal action. Luckily, Vivek was prepared and purchased a license to perform the song beforehand. But that wasn't Vivek's best moment at the state fair. He was asked about a claim he made about Biden. I'll play that here.
A follow-up on something you said this morning. If you were to become the nominee, you don't think you'd be running against Joe Biden. Who do you think you'd be running against?
Another puppet. Whichever puppet they trot out.
Of course, Vivek was correct. My next favorite moment of his was when a former FBI agent approached him and told him this.
Mike, good to meet you.
They ruined my bureau. When I went in, it was fidelity, bravery, integrity. They've broken my heart. This can't be. This can't go on. And
We will, and I like the way you're pushing, because those are my instincts, right? But I can tell you what we can immediately get done. Well, thank you for your service.
tired, but Jesus, be careful.
I will. We will. I mean, we're guided by our purpose. I know that it can get ugly. You mean like
Yes,
be careful, be
very
careful.
careful.
Yeah. What did you do in the bureau?
I worked. I was a SWAT guy, but I worked counterintelligence and counterterrorism, and I was one of those guys that was convinced they would never do it.
You were, how many years were you in the FBI?
22. I was a cop before that.
Okay, and you're worried.
Yes, I'm worried.
Okay.
Just retired.
What would you do in my shoes?
I'd get some very, very competent help.
Okay.
And some very competent people do some intelligence work for you before you went places.
Okay.
Just walk around, talk to people, maybe get a feeling.
Okay.
Because that's what I did for a living. I got people to tell me what they didn't want to tell me. And the other thing is, I'm now an entrepreneur. I'm trying to follow in your footsteps, but I don't think my worm farm is going to catch up with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll take that seriously, man. I'm reading between the lines of what you're saying, and we got you.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll take care of ourselves. And
You've seen how aggressive these alphabet organizations have become. They're coming after you.
yeah, no doubt about it. But we're ready. We'll be ready.
If you think you're going back into private life, if this doesn't work out, they're coming.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
My next favorite moment came from the debate stage. Watch as Vivek slaps the crap out of Nikki Haley. I think this is the best example.
I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that.
I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is, and now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt. He said that I have a woman problem. Nikki, I don't have a woman problem. You have a corruption problem. And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house. This is the problem, using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris. So foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for.
Now, while many of the people in the GOP thought that they should go to war with Trump,
no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right.
Vivek took a different approach. In the end, he gave Big Man 45 his endorsement to ensure that Nimrata would get wrecked in New Hampshire.
It's not between Democrat and Republican, even in a deeper sense. It's between the permanent state and the everyday citizen. Between those of us who love the United States of America and a fringe minority who hates this country and what we stand for. And right now we need a commander-in-chief who will lead us to victory in this war. That's what we need in this country. You got to know you're in a war to win one. You can't win one if you're asleep at the switch, have your head stuck in the sand like most Republicans. And I think that's going to require somebody who isn't bought and paid for, a businessman, not a politician. Anybody heard of that? And that's why I was in this race, but I'll tell you, the people of Iowa spoke loud and clear last night, and I'm a big believer that we, the people, create a government that is accountable to us, not the other way around. That we, the people, choose who leads this country. And so we heard we, the people, last night, and that is why last evening I met my friend here. We met in person, and I told him that I would endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States and do everything in my power to lead us to victory in this war. It is a 1776 moment right now.
I hope that Vivek doesn't fade into obscurity and that he continues to fight for America first. What were your favorite Vivek moments? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.